Hey everybody, it's Allie Edwards, and I'm back with week 43 and a pretty simple Project Life spread for this particular week in my 2024 9x12 Project Life album. I'm loving the simplicity. It's making me really happy. So, in case you were wondering, one of the ways that I've been approaching this as I'm going back in time to document or finish up the rest of 2024 is that what I often do is I will sit here at my desk and I will print out multiple weeks of photos. So I'll do, 6 to 8 weeks of photos, something like that, that then as I have time to actually put them in, fill in the rest of the pockets, then I can do that as well. So I bring my whole notebook over here, my whole album over to my computer desk, and then I look at my photos for the particular week and pick out a range of different photos that kind of highlight the variety of things that were happening here in a particular season. So I think I have a couple more weeks that have the photos filled in, and then I probably have about 5 weeks, probably 5 or 6 weeks, probably like half of November and all of December photos to print out. And then I'll be able to wrap up 2024. So in this case, you can see that I had all the photos already into the pockets. And as I was printing my photos, I ended up leaving 2 empty pockets. So I placed one sentiment card, the 3x4 sentiment card, into one of those pockets. And then I grabbed this October Stories card, which I think might have been from a couple years ago, Stories by the Month. It's not from 2024. It was actually in the place where I store things by the month. So I had an October section and I found this card in there. And it's similar to what I did in week 42, where rather than using a 3x4 card to document, like a 3x4 card to go with each of my 4x6 photos, which is how I've approached it at some points in time. Instead, I'm just picking a 4x6 card where I can add in a bunch of little stories all together. Last week in week 42, I did a 6x8 pattern paper as an insert where I was able to add all of those stories on there. So more pockets for photos, and then just assigning one pocket in this case to jot down the different little stories. I really like that though, and especially when you're going back in time and you're just wanting to get it done, and whether it's in real time or in another time. As many of you know, sometimes it's super fun to be crafty and add all kinds of different things on there. And other times it's nice to just fill the pockets and get it done and get some reflections down, especially when we remember that part of the beauty of this particular project is the sum of all of the parts, right? So in addition to that 4x6 card and the 3x4 sentiment card, I am going to be adding some chipboard pieces from the 2024 October Stories by the Month set. Just adding a few of those onto my photos. And then I'm also going to be grabbing some black and white banner flags that I happen to have out on my table. You guys know I'm a fan of just grabbing the things that are on my table to be able to add in. So that's what you're going to see me doing in the rest of the video. But I follow the same basic formula with adding in this journaling, where I'm simply looking at the photos that I printed out and it had already slipped in the pockets and writing a little bit about each one. That's basically the approach. The other thing that I did add on here is I looked at my stamps that talk about photography. Some of you guys know that last year I took some time to reorganize stamps and break up a bunch of my older stamp sets into categories. And one of the categories is a photo one. I think that this is actually the second envelope that holds those. So that makes it really easy when I just want to find a stamp that's related to a topic such as photography or taking photos, and then I can just grab one of those and add it in there. Again, adding chipboard pieces, so I've got a big no on the piles of clothes that are in one of our teenagers' rooms, and her name is Anna, and a yes on volleyball. She struggles with the room clean thing, so we're working on it. It's always a work in progress. Here's those other little banners. These are banner flags. Again, these are from a previous One Little Word mini kit, I think. So I'm going to add these guys on there, onto a couple. I think 3 3x4 photos is what I'm going to add these on. This one here. This was a particular week where I was in charge of team dinner for volleyball, so I barbecued a bunch of chicken thighs, which is one of my favorite things to do. I'm really into that. Even in the wintertime, it can be something fun to do. Adding on just a few little tiny details. That's all we have to do when we're adding these in there. All right. Like I have mentioned in the last couple of videos, super excited because I'm getting closer to the end of this particular project. So I'm going to keep going on these, and I will keep sharing them here in the coming weeks as I get closer to the end of Project Life 2024. As always, if you guys have any questions or you want to know anything, let me know. Supplies are listed in the description below this video on YouTube and in the blog post at the bottom of the blog post. We'll see you guys back here again soon.